Check, 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 check. Hi, everyone. Let's see if you can hear me. If everything is fine, video, sound, let me know. Hi, Maxime, Corey, John, Ollie, Emil, Orange, aka Revebla, Meeting Point, another Maxime, Alice. Hey guys. If it's super quiet, let me enhance. We can do that. Is it better? Probably too much. Check, 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 check. I think this should be loud. What was the song? So I found this crazy SoundCloud I recommend called Raw Russian. Never heard of it. It's really cool. If anyone knows Raw Russian, please say hi. That's really crazy SoundCloud. And that's the song. Right, let me connect Safari. Today I actually have little of agenda, for our OG users, that these sessions, especially on Friday, there's no agenda. We're just vibing, talking about stuff. Today, we're still doing that, but I wanted to talk a little about question that question that, how we say, confuse many people. Question that keeps many people awake. That question is, what is lot? What we're doing? Um, what's next because of this situation in the world? And you know, yeah, how it's all going to unfold. Because our last Friday, actually, guys, really, let's put it this way, triggered me, but in a good way, towards um, really nail this time and kind of have an explanation, or rather, as we talk between us, a better communication about the subject. And also, if you follow a lot, or what I see from our side on all social media, emails that people send to us, everyone just can't wait until this blew up, right? And I think there is some misconception about LOT originally, that we doing this as some kind of art project, right? And they not mean it in a good way. Like, art project is a compliment. Apple is art project. Tesla is art project. But I don't think that people see that we're trying to build a business here, and that is a hardcore work, not only on design or art, right? It's a hardcore work on uh, the model, production, team. Those things is something that you can't just buy. Those things that you can't just watch on internet. You know, you have to experience that shit, and then it's become more and more stable. So today I wanted to talk a little about lot, not on philosophical side of view, because I think that we all aware. That's why we're all here. I wanted to talk about it more from business perspective and you guys, how you can help and what we can do. And because that's another thing. Like if you watch every stream, there'll be question, hey, I'm new here. How can I help? What can I do? How can I contribute or participate? It's not just about some kind of charity. You know, people want to. What people want in. People want this project to work and scale. And we talk about many things. You know, people talking about decentralization, ecology, sustainability, crypto, subscription, product design, graphic design, communications, marketing. All that stuff is here. We're just doing it differently, and that's why it looks like something else. And that's by design because we wanted to create a new system, not a new veneer on old system. We want to create a new system that proves the point. There is no point to prove the point that you can make money. You feel me? That's fine. Some people can, some people can't. It doesn't really matter. You know, as Kanye say, money is not real. We're trying to prove a point that you can be a little different and live on different rules and still make it in this make it until life, not money. Just you can be happy, sustainable, wealthy, lovable, and loved person. And it seems like because so many people broken, I was broken, that society is designed to break people first and then profit on them further. So from day one, the number one subject was, besides design, of course, is community personalization. So it's global and local. You belong to a community that is very special, and inside that community, even if it doesn't look that way because we all wear black or white, it still hyper personal, starting from customer support to packages and even these streams. Everything is extremely personal. Alice is saying art is anything not just made for profit, maybe. Yeah, but we want to be profitable. We want to be extremely profitable because where we want to be, you got to be profitable. You need money, and there are stages to the like. It's not just about us being for thousands of people. Once we break that record, we'll be for million people, then for millions of people. Every stage will require extreme transformations, both psychological, team wise, production wise. It's inevitable, but only if we get to mass market, we can achieve what we designed this for. So let's watch this quick video. I'm sure you guys saw it before, but I think it's a good introduction to what is it's all about. Switching on. Hold on, I'm trying to connect this window capture here. Right. No, that's not it. Maybe this one. Yep. Um, yeah. By the way, another commercial. We're streaming every day, so be here.
We suddenly realized on a very massive global scale that you don't have to live the conventions of what cities program you to live, like going to work 9 to 5 and coming back home, and all this commute time is something that you sit in the car, listen to music, and listen to podcasts. And I think a lot of people in these times working from home and finding that the internet is this network that you can rely on that makes you space independent. And so I think that really is the bottom line of how I feel our relation with space and environment will continue to progress in the time to come, where people are continually progressively independent while being more and more space independent.
Right. So it's about the community, and it's about. Oh, you didn't see the video, guys. Let's see it. Let's watch it again.
We suddenly realized on a very massive global scale that you don't have to live the conventions of what cities program you to live, like going to work 9 to 5 and coming back home, and then all this commute time is something that you sit in a car, listen to music, and listen to podcasts. And I think a lot of people in these times of working from home and finding that the internet is this network that you can rely on that makes you space independent. And so I think that really is the bottom line of how I feel our relation with space and environment will continue to progress in the time to come, where people are continually progressively independent while being more and more space independent.
Hey guys, wow, the mic was off. That whole that whole manipulation with the mic is off. I'm back. So once again, once this whole pandemic happens, we begin to experience it in February already a little bit. It was clear that we have to change. It was clear before all that, and that's why we pushed ARC forward and everything. But after pandemic, it become or during pandemic, it become obvious that the old model cannot survive. That it's not up to us, and we can fight with many things, but we can't fight with governments and health and nature or stuff like that. That's too much for now. So during the pandemic, we start to think, how can we simplify, change, and finally grow a lot, despite that pandemic is happening. How can we go to the next stage? Because it is third year, right? There'll be in half a year, it'll be 4 years of the company. So we're doing this for quite a long time, and the goal is not too complicated. The goal is to make it simple. So after we survived, put certain things on rail, open lab, uh, kind of get back on track, start to make money. We spent the summer so far to analyze a lot and analyze a new team setup and find a way how we can kickstart this whole thing to the next level. And I know you guys really want the packages that's supposed to come, um, not the ones that we're supposed to send you that you already paid for, but reopen a lot. But it's from day one it was obvious that that model doesn't scale. Like we can't keep doing that because that is not scalable. So we need to find a way how to not betray the core principles we work with community. We base things on your feedback, um, and how to continue with that formula, still make it scalable. Because we have here on this meetup on Fridays, we had a lot of conversations about open source and non-profit, and that stuff is scalable, but until certain point, because then nobody interested, you know, and it is very hard to imagine this some kind of a group art project once again, or some collective. Like it has to be um, a company that grows. So sending packages with items and fighting these things like, it's a gift box, it's it's a gimmick, and kind of in return send you more stuff, and then some people say it's too much. Like that whole communication wasn't really there, and moving forward, we know that we need to do it differently. So we separated a lot into three big categories that we're going to work on. There's fourth one, which is YouTube itself, but it's not the core product. So Ghost, it's this thing where I won't switch, but it's just in case. So Ghost is this thing that you have in your profile page, where you see um, questions and preferences, right? These questions here this physical profile body that we start to build. Preferences. This is some basic preferences. And modules itself is, if you look at it from different angle, it's all same thing. It's all um, just questions that we can ask. So that's why here it says, what is your shoe size and how you feel? Those are two similar questions because they all identify you. And questions can vary from anything about your physical body, about your spiritual body, and about your preferences without doing anything wrong with your privacy, because those are general questions that are not used to sell you uh, anything. Those general questions will serve to form that passport of you, the profile, ghost. And we decided that instead of having like the seeing and having those preferences and put everything into one product. So that's Ghost. So while interacting with this Ghost thing, you know that you're building your profile up, and that will allow right now to make some experiences or even the group experiences like these streams and things better, right? Because we know the say the general vibe of the community. We know what's going on. We can always be responsive. And of course, the moment products are back, those products will be personalized. But until that moment, you can use this product to build up your real, uh, I guess, avatar for this game of life. We don't have that here. We have game avatars like Sims, PUBG, Fortnite, but we don't have avatars for this game. Our avatar for this game is your bank account and Supreme hat. That's what your avatar here. But it can be way deeper, and or like Twitter account, right? Or Instagram even, which is worse. Like that's your avatar, not real at the end of the day. So we want you to embrace yourself completely, embrace your body, and use that as identity. There's no other identity than just you, you know. And we believe there's a tool to get there. That is not. It's a work, and that includes a lot of things. From cliche, basic stuff like meditation to more complex reflection on yourself and on your body, and everything we do is only serve that to truly untether you from this society, but tether you back to your spiritual body. So that's what we're going to work next. That's a software feature that first step is to fix the profile page, which we already have. We just need to repackage it basically, so it's more streamlined. Because it was all built on the go, it's time to package it a little bit better. We think that should be available for anyone, and yeah, I will talk about community module after this. Next, LoadOS. This is the most, I guess, that's the most. That was the hardest question of all, because we have products that you love. They came from a centralized place, China, right? Shenzhen. We order things sometimes with no change, because if it's good enough, make it black. Let's go. If it's not good enough, we start to make next version, and people who um, know a lot, they know that version after version we improve it. We make it better after each month. So each 3 months, every product was better. So we have like 5 versions of t-shirt, two versions of toothbrush, and etc. Like 5 versions of backpack. So 3 versions of different deodorants. But once we get to the version, then it's centralized product that we send to everyone, and that's not bad. But in this case, we became a manufacturer. More and more, we start to look like a manufacturer, and manufacturer in China. So that's a great moment to spread the mission, but that's not the mission. You feel me? So therefore, that's not like a thought that I have right now. That's the thought that's been there for since day one. That's why last year we came up with modules. Let me go quickly through them. Um, Once again, if you're a user, you're probably aware, but this is a story. So modules is same lot system, except it's modular. That means that before you would receive all products um, from all these categories in one package. Once we deliver uniform, it wasn't enough. We needed to deliver self-care products. Once we deliver self-care products, it wasn't enough. We needed to deliver accessories, and people would ask for more and more. And at the end of the day, before pandemic happens, we had a package that was so big. We split. We were just sending it um, without any. It was hard to do personalization because if you choose, uh, it was very hard to do that. It actually personal because it was illusion of personalization where we have some preferences, but we can and should go much further. So we start last year test the modular system where every module is an experience by itself. So if you subscribe to self-care, basically I was having a hard time to say it wasn't profitable at all. We were sending these packages on our expense completely. So that's not sustainable model. So we realized that, and that's why we started modular system where every module is an experience by itself. So if you subscribe to uniform, you receive only uniform items. There is no shoes, there's no socks. It's uh, second layer of clothes. Some people asked they wanted t-shirts, they didn't want other things, right? You have t-shirt once again subscription. So you switch on the module, and every month you will receive a pack of t-shirts with some kind of story and some kind of narrative, from collaborations with users, artists, to basically improving that version one after another. So that's what's the meaning by subscription. Every month you receive a better version of t-shirt, which we proved on our prototype stage. You have kids here. That's a separate experience where you can imagine it makes a lot of sense. Then every month you receive a dedicated package for you newborn baby or for you small kids. Beauty. This is not a unified product that we can send, but we heard the users were telling us, I use almost everything from Lot except beauty products. I would love to switch to Lot completely. Beauty. Not suitable to any package. The only way to make it is to separate it. Once again, if you turn on beauty, that means that you receive 12 packages a year. every package 1 month. And those packages will be according to some story. And inside every package, there will be a few items that will allow you to build up the story. Same beauty, it can be a lipstick color that slowly, based on ghost questions, personalized to you. Something that you really like. Something that I don't use, so I won't even see that. I won't see the interface for that. I won't see that question. What type of lipstick you want? Warmer, colder, for example. That also allow us to switch on digital modules. Like we have community right now that is um, special events that we do with our users only. This is some special feedback that we give to our users only, and they have access to some backstage things. So they actually helping us with their money, their opinion, and their presence. So this is like a little deeper than this YouTube. Although I know that everyone here are most of you guys are users. So I'm saying this for other people, not in this chat. Um, and so a module like self-care would consist of many items that can be grouped together and send you in one package. You know, that can be according to the story. They can be sent to you, or to your preferences. They can be sent to you in different uh, variations. So it's easy to explain this with self-care because yes, you need toothbrush once per 2 months. You need toothpaste every month. You need a new towel every 3 months. You need perfume oil every 6 months. You need deodorant. In our case, Crystal was like almost a year with people. So you receive products in this module self-care every month, one, two, three, depends on the price, of course, and weight. And if you need other modules like kids, beauty, uniform, you can add them to your Lot OS. That's basically it, how it works. That's why we call it OS, because the combination of your profile, you being you, you answering questions, you building up your body, spiritual and physical. The system answers with products and experiences around those products that are tailored to you. You maybe, if you're a user, you guys of course remember this stuff. Oop, okay, I'm still here. This is our product pages. Every product have a QR code. You scan it and you go to a product page that is a system of feedback. We would put your notes here. We would put manual how it works, expiration date, version number, and the author who built this thing. Most of the things we build ourselves. This one was designed by Maria. Every product in Lot system have this product page. And so the only problem was there that It's not scalable, and it's come from one single place. So we become a product manufacturers, designers. Like we just have to push this product and design it, and yeah, design it in somewhere else. So first question in terms of popularity that comes from you guys, once again, is how can I participate? We would receive emails like, I have this free space downtown somewhere, you can use it. I'm doing t-shirts here in Moscow, can we help? That kind of email from crypto to socks we receive every day. And so I was thinking how can we organize all this, and got to solution, I think. What if every module that is produced produced only locally? So what if this is self care that is visible for users only in LA? Because we have that opportunity. We have with modular system we have that. We know that you are in Los Angeles, and so this is your self care module in LA. So if I subscribe to self care module in Los Angeles, I receive all these items produced by local California makers. The quickest example is like Etsy, but with some guidelines and with some um, mission statement, right? Right? It's not everything. It's just things that we need, basics, but we source them through those makers. So every product page will have a name of a maker there, and you can talk to the maker. You can buy their other products if you want to, but this subscription utilize this toothbrush from that local maker who happens to have um, some equipment, wood, and they can make this small quantity organic products. If we subscribe, if I subscribe from Moscow, some things we can produce, right? Say this only is we can make in Moscow. That's your self-care module in Moscow. And other things that are missing here, we start to ask people from community to build. We will be saying, "Yo, we need a pair of nice nail scissors. Who can help make this? We have a need for 755 toothbrushes. Who can make them?" We pack it in our centralized office and distribute it only through local users. So if I live in Los Angeles, I will not be able to receive products from Moscow. If I live in Moscow, I can't receive products from Los Angeles. This can be operated with a single warehouse where users can help to create. Users can have a full-time job if they need to, like young people that just after school. We have a lot of users like that. They can start working there and design, pack those local experiences with a centralized software system that comes from us. So the only thing that we have centralized is the system itself, right? The backend, your passport, personalization, and LoadOS with modules that we need to fulfill. Maybe some locations would even have specialized modules. A quick example is we don't need warm clothes in California, we need warm clothes in Russia. So you can imagine having here something that is produced, like I don't know, like a black scarf, wool made of wool that is impossible to make in China because it's too expensive. That is impossible or hard to export import because it's also too expensive. But there's someone who would do a couple of hundreds or thousands of those wool scarves locally and sell it through lot subscription. What we promise from our side is that system is sustainable. That means that we're not selling it anywhere else. It's only for community by the community. It's only made for users by users. So the only way for you to consume those products is only to subscribe to Lot. Start using Ghost, plug in some modules, and wait and see what happens months after months after months. We know how to build a subscription package that people would be subscribed to 12 months, 15 months, 24 months. There's no much subscriptions like this except Netflix and Spotify and stuff like this. So our goal will be is to create a system that allow those makers build their products and distribute them because of subscription without any worry. We can guarantee some of the statistics next year, next month. We can guarantee money that we can pay because we know exactly how much users we have and know exactly which modules they set up, and the machine actually is telling us which products we need. It's not someone's opinion. I will talk a little bit more about LotOS in a minute. There will be some. Let's take questions. There'll be some. I'll show you some thinking behind it, mathematics that I think is very clear. And I just wanted to talk real quick about the third part of the system is Arc1. And Arc1 is our mobile off-road living unit. It's basically your home on the wheels that you can take, and all these products will be a perfect suit to this vehicle. Every product supposed to work inside this vehicle. Every product will fit to this vehicle. Of course, it will fit to your apartment, to your home, but it's designed that they work together. And this Ghost thing becoming like a heart of this vehicle. The light, sound, everything will be controlled through these questions and through your profile. So it's becoming like your, spiritual animal or a cocoon where you go to the next stage. So this is the kind of on timeline on the right position. This is some distant future until we can actually roll out. Obviously, that will take like a couple of years to make. But we're doing this all life, so you'll see the progress. Right now, we develop it on paper. It's too early to go to prototype stage. This system, I will talk about it, what it takes to actually do this. Also, I have to know that this system is pandemic secured, pandemic prepared for pandemic because everything produced locally and distributed locally. There's no need for international flights. There's no need to wait the ship. So zero emissions. Eventually you can see that those arcs uh, with some um, electrical vehicles that just distribute those products in the cities. And Ghost, our immediate future, where we can start right now. We don't need anything. We have everything to rearrange, repackage, and continue building. That's this profile. Right, go into some questions, and then I will continue. Just how this feels. Banana Guacamole asking, how local is local? Is it LA, Orange County, California, West, US, North America? I think logically we have to limit it according to the context. Because say it is impossible to find all those things all over Russia. It's very hard. Most likely they are built here, Moscow, St. Petersburg, or near cities. It's at this stage until users will start to build. I know that some people, our users live in Siberia. Maybe they'll be like, "Yo, I can do toothbrush," but there'll be no users in Siberia. So if they can do toothbrush and send it to us, I think it's logical that in Russia, that Moscow hub will serve whole Russia. For now, there's no need to fragmentate it more. But in New York, for example, I'm pretty sure it's possible to do New York only experience for self-care, for example. We can do whole America, but in America, you can find in many states complete manufacturing set for, say, self-care. So it is very possible to make hyper local in North America. But once again, I think that's a little bigger question that will solve itself over time. Because if we do this in Los Angeles, then that means that uh, some things can be better than in New York, and New York can be something better than there. So we can set up a hub in in LA and start accepting products from all over America. The shipment is not that expensive. Pack it, prepare it, put into the system, store it properly, and distribute it back to the users all over America. If we want to make, um, say, we add in weed to the self-care module, it's just that weed will be only in California, and you won't receive it in New York. I think in future when we have thousands and thousands of users and thousands of makers, it will make sense to build tools, products for people so they can be organized better. But at the beginning, I think it's important that it's just uh, distributable on the ground, and it can be packed on the ground in LA. So we don't need to source nothing from outside world, only local. Good question from Marcel. How do you make sure that this stays as how this become accessible, stays accessible, not luxury? Well, that's the point because they're not luxury items. They're just packed like that. Every Instagram brand that you see that packed with all this bullshit is just bullshit. That's the whole point of Load anyway, to strip down products and make them so they are on the mission. And many times people pack them to sell more. In the worst case, in the best case, to have some kind of statement, right? But their statement for the most part is just bullshit, fake sustainability and everything like this. So to me, a lot kind of answers this question for a lot of makers that why I'm doing this, where it goes, and how what's the difference? Should I go to distributors, work on Instagram? What should I do? With this system, it's not just a marketplace like Amazon. That's not the point. You become part of this community. That means that you have a mindset. So to me, people who are going to price this more, they're just not with us because it's designed that we self-sustainable and profitable, of course. I'll show you a few numbers. I think it will be more understandable. Let me know if I need to zoom in, probably a little bit, right? Right, this would be a little hardcore, but bear with me. So let's say we're doing module. This is just a simple exercise. We're doing a module that is based in USA, and this module doesn't matter. It can be self-care, kids, doesn't matter. This module is consists of free local makers. We can call it LA, for example. It consists of free local makers. For the sake of exercise, let's say it's accessory for smoking weed, um, box of incense, and uh, perfume oil, for example. Three things in a module. There could be different modules with more products in it, less products in it, but that's a typical module. First one, it cost maker $15 to make. Second would cost $10 to make. And perfume oil uses some organic oils, say it costs $35 per bottle, or rather per not per bottle, per um, bucket or something. I mean per portion, because bottles on our side per portion. Those makers in Los Angeles send, or we pick up. It depends on the money investment, how much money we have. We can pick it up. We can organize a system where they receive it, or uh, anything. But we end up with those products in our facility here, local fulfillment warehouse. All those products, they're not just dropped at our location. They all went through inventory management, community data. So we already know how to pack it. We already know that this is not just they send it to us because they send it because we needed those particular products to send to this group of people this month. LotOS is also SDK, where those makers, just like software, they can use information about community, maybe the pulse, like the vibe, or some more precise data. How many people have sensitive teeth? How many people without no privacy breaking, of course, broken? How sensitive are the teeth? What's the percentage? So they can design these things according how sensitive the skin. Is there any allergies collectively, etc., etc., etc. If there are, what's that? So this can be extremely personalized both to community and to you because of this SDK, because of this data that Ghost sending back to makers. So once maker applied through program, just like App Store, send, we approve the products, we agree on the raw materials, say it's the formula and ingredients for the oil, raw soap, no packaging, nothing, just formula. Once again, we start to ordering things from them in bulk that we need for the next few months. Rather, machine should do this as it was doing in China already. Those products in our local fulfillment warehouse, they're not in some kind of global warehouse. They in this, like, once again, China, or I don't know, Europe somewhere, Russia. It's in LA. There's a team of people that receive these products, and once again, according to the same machine, LotOS, it packed personally now. So now you receive your toothbrush locally made for your sensitive teeth with your name on it. because the name was the toothbrush itself was designed together with the maker based on our guidelines. That toothbrush will be personalized on our facility. So maker just have to send basically raw ingredients, nothing packed, because that's old school already. We don't have one shelf. There's no one shelf. Every user have their own shelf, right? So once the products are packed, they are being distributed. Since it's local, no airplanes, just on the ground, fast. No need to wait for months. Once it's made, it's there. The products can be distributed not as one package, but you can receive something every week. A lot just maintains your life. There's no need for surprise. It's already there. As a user who subscribe to Lot, they also use the Lot OS to select what things they need, as I said. And that's the filter the modules go through, the products go through, and they end up in local user hands. Once again, if I live somewhere else, I will not receive this LA module. But also, on the other hand, me being a subscriber of Lot, I don't have to pause my subscription anymore. I don't have to. That's another thing. People would change their locations. People would change their countries, and then they have to drop Lot, and that Lot won't ship at that location, etc. With this, that is less of a problem because you jump from LA to Moscow, you're still Lot subscriber. Your data, your ghost is still there. So whatever is manufactured locally here, machine will, together with people, of course, assemble a package for you. So you're back on the same modules. You're back. You don't need to go to local store and buy stuff. You don't need to reroute Lot. You don't need to select modules because what is built here, you selected it already. It will just follows you everywhere, like this comfort level of comfort, right? The cloud of comfort. So collectively, these people are. It will be say $60. That's how much we will pay to makers. That is 70% of the full price. And full price will be based not on how we say $100, $50, because that's not transparent. The price will be based on how much this costs, how much we have to pay to makers. After that, we would add 20% to maintain that physical layer, which is warehouse with a team, packaging, some equipment, distribution, shipment. It's all here. We'll add 20%, and then 10% to, in this case, it will be $6 from the whole thing to maintain the company service team that is maintain Lot OS, the software, right? So it's very fair. There's Apple pays. I think Apple do the same thing actually. 20%, yeah. We're taking 30%, but I think in hardware manufacturing, in product manufacturing, this is unheard of because you will get 20 as a maker going through store and distribution and compete on price. If you ever build a product, you know what I'm talking about. So this is no headache. So we calculated that we will need almost $2 million per year for team to do Lot OS. We've been doing this already, right, for years, and at this point, we can continue like this forever. Like basically, no money, no salaries, just pure enthusiasm and everything. But that's not sustainable, and That's why we're raising money and everything. So we will need $2 million for operation. That includes all the bills. That includes office. That includes software department, design department. That comes from community. That we also decided that only community, only our users can be local makers. They can be some random scammer who just starts shipping stuff and sending. You have to be a community member. You have to be in this family in order to start making and consume. And we will be hiring only from the community. No Facebook people. I mean, they're not lot users, but no like this bullshit. Um, so yeah, the software department, some bills, uh, YouTube operation because that will be our main channel. Like we want to make this a TV show. We want you to see over the next 10 years what we're about to build. You'll see how we build Arc. You'll see how we test Arc. You'll see first customers of Arc before anyone else. That is like a reality show we're doing, and so that is also needs some investment. Think about it as like Netflix reality show or something. Warehouse locally cost about $400. That's fully, of course, depends on different locations. Russia cheaper, etc. But that warehouse includes some team, vehicle to ship products, a driver, operator. Very, very conservative setup because we know that it's not going to be huge tomorrow. It will need some time to grow, but that will be dedicated community team from the community locally that maintain this operation here. And so, in order for us, say just with these three modules, like say we send this is exercise, we send in just one package. So this one package with this margin that we pay to makers, we need about 11,000 packages users. That will be active users. That means that like we have to close a year having 11,000 active users. That means that we collectively, because we send every month, right? We will ship about um, 13,000, which is a lot. Yeah, I meant to say 100,028 packages, which is a lot, but not as much as you can imagine. That only for us to break even, right? This doesn't mean that we will be making any money. So I just wanted to expose this, I guess. Not expose, I want to be extremely transparent with you so you understand that, all right, the system is here, but in order for it to work, we need to have this. Say we have no money, we have no investment, we need 10,000 users, so this operation um, can work. It's all these things are extremely conservative. It might seem a lot for some, but it's not a lot. It's actually very conservative to kickstart first 1-2 years. Of course, modules can be different. There could be more of them, and uh, we have to we can calculate this more and more and more. But the point is that that's a big number that we have to get, and it's clear that without investment, it is impossible for us to get there at this point, because it is very likely that the world will be shut down again. Right? We all heard these rumors. That means that any continuation of any international shipment is just not sustainable. It's very likely that every country will be closed off and operate locally. That means that this is the right investment. Building this thing. I can see what happens in Moscow. Like everything is thriving. They sell things online. There's no subscriptions. There's no, of course, nothing like this here or in America. But you can see that it will happen just tomorrow. Something will click. That will be the only way to consume. And just I guess for the community, for us, and for anyone who watching this, law could be extremely, extremely profitable because once again, just this three, we can calculate more complex model with tens of modules locally, prices and different experiences. But this, I think, a good average overall of just everything that can happen because some modules can be like $1, etc. If we grow just two times, say next year, having almost the same operation and growing users as well, we we're still profitable, etc. More users, more growth, margin is healthy. We can make a lot of money here and pay a lot of money with this very fair margin. Pay a lot of money to makers, and I can see that at some point, once we start, like Airbnb, once we truly start to pay back, truly means sustainable amount of money that you can live off. We guarantee that we not participate in Wall Street. We guarantee that we not participate in that whole VC race like Airbnb doing and everyone else. Therefore, we can guarantee more stable income for many years to come. And I can see that there will be people who will be exiting their lives and working only with lot and for lot by doing something that they love, building their own products, building their own narratives, and working close with us to building that thing. See, the funny part that Uber and Airbnb said the same thing to you, except they didn't follow through because they weren't transparent. And they didn't do what they said they're going to do. They were doing money making machine. I want to be profitable. That's super important. We're still playing a game. We need to win. We need to get trust and power. But paying people majority of the money and still making us extremely profitable, having only a million users and manufactured locally. I'm not talking about everything else that we know, guys, right? The philosophy of Lot, the arc, people that we meet with community. I'm not even talking about this, just pure economy of I'm making toothbrush for Lot. They buy in bulk, in advance. I know exactly how many units I need to build for this location. To me, that's the best fucking company on the planet. Henrique asking, how would color variation in wearable products be implemented? I think it's very interesting question because that means that we have to build that education that I mentioned, where we give you, not just like it color black, but rather we're giving you materials will help you to source those materials. Something like IKEA is doing. They manufacture locally. They tried to at least at Russia because there was no other option. But yeah, I think that's an interesting question because that's what we're going to do on our side, creating those guidelines. Of course, together with you, with feedback, but it's going to be centralized. So we build one product all together. It's just decentralized. Corey, that's a good question. If product designed by lot or designed by local manufacturers, I think the experience is designed by lot. So that can affect packaging, that can affect the body of whatever container, the bottle, but the product itself, right? There is a product which is, say, toothpaste, but then toothpaste is packed according to dosage and system that sends it every month, and that stuff that maker can't know. We have to design it on our side. So because that is not that information is universal, we will use this information to build packages all over the world, and the system should be like a knowledge base, and it should not belong to one maker. It's not. It's not a charity. Won't work. So I think it's 50-50 in a way of um, working it. We're doing what we can do the best: experience, story, communication, product design, and someone who does the best chocolate on the planet does the best chocolate on the planet, and we do the best packaging on the planet. Marcel, I think you new here. We never talk about this stuff. No information about amount of users. Not in this chat. If you're a user, we can discuss this between us, but not publicly. Banana guacamole. Yeah, that's a good correction. 10K just in Los Angeles. I mean, just in California or America for that sense. That's maybe answered the question from your own question earlier. How local is local? So once it become bigger and known, then we can fragment it more. And then from 10K from America, we need only 10K from LA. And then but we can't limit it to LA because we will never get to 10K. Although that's not a big number, but still. With this setup, does it mean that packages will initially be quite limited in what they offer, but grow over time as more local makers are added? Yeah, absolutely, Oli. That's the best way. Once again, we're doing everything like this. You see, we want to do this just step by step, grow it, and make it transparent, visible, so you know what is going on. So yeah, 100%. We won't even offer those modules at the beginning, right? There'll be something like that can say um, we can start with, say, unified theme, uniform, black t-shirts, black pants, hoodie, and source that module globally and build like this. So where we start with uniform, then we move to some accessories, then move to self-care, and then we go deeper. Maybe, you know, my dream is to do this subscription-based weed in California. You receive a package of weed for, say, 2 weeks or something, and with some ghost recommendations how to consume it properly and what to do, etc. We're seeing playlists and stuff. This can come earlier than anything else. Say maybe there's something once again local in Moscow that everyone uses. Like there's this boom of coffee in Russia. So yeah, there's module of coffee that we don't have to push everywhere, but can be here. So I think the growth of this can be granular, step by step, but also just makes sense. Of course, you should never feel like it's limited experience. You always should feel like that's all I want. And also, back to this, I just want to highlight once again, the price is flexible. So if you're just paying, say, for something small, you will pay like $22 per month and have your stuff. You can switch on more modules here, you'll pay more. So the system becomes extremely flexible. We don't have to maintain one package, which was surprisingly extremely hard. We have to maintain a system, and with proper processes behind the system, it will work by itself. So .NET, yeah, amazing question from B2L Benitez. Will makers be required to obtain materials for their products locally? 100%, 100%. I think that's the future of products because this trip to Moscow really showed me, and Moscow is not the most developed place, or Russia, let's say, and the explosion of companies and locally made products from local materials is just mind blowing. Like the quality of them is incredible. I saw this already in Los Angeles. I saw this in London. Um, so New York. So seeing this in Moscow, to me, just an understanding of right, the revolution is happening already. It's happened. So we need to adjust. Right. I know this is a lot of information. So let me just go real quick through the plans that how we make this work. So number one, we in the next couple of months, you'll see complete information of your Me page and Ghost, and you will be able to use this daily. We added more questions. We uh, working on a new narrative for this, so this is the first thing we're doing. Meanwhile, please send us uh, or me directly, or better to lot support. Maybe you want to participate. Maybe you really want to build something. Maybe you're doing something as a side hobby. Maybe you wanted to do something as a side hobby, but you don't want to go into selling, hustling. Maybe you know someone who would love to participate. So let's start building this library of makers, and have this and report on that, and have this local library of local manufacturers, and see what we can start to assemble already. We of course continue to work on Arc as a blueprint right now, and we're working a lot on communications, which is this YouTube channel and emails that we're sending out. Um, yeah, we want this to be extremely transparent. What else? Yeah, and just few words about the community module. So that meetup that we did together, guys, if you were there, you know what it is. Hangout was amazing, really beautiful. So we realized that is incredible value for us, and seems like it's a value for you. So we want to, since Ghost eventually will be open for everyone, right? The questions, that me page, the OS will be open for any person from the internet. They can start using it. We want to make this community module something very special. So when we start, community module is what will separate people that really with lot from users. It's not anytime tomorrow, but eventually that will happen. Like we can't have thousands of people that call, you know. Not everyone. It's just impossible naturally. Can be that that there are thousands of people that participate a lot on that level of intimacy that we have with you right now, and especially when we had that super intimate call between all users. So we think that community module is like super users, super fans, people who participate, and so we want to give back more. It's not enough right now, so we will be doing those Google Hangouts together more, where we going to. This is just a teasing. We plan to do one soon together with you again, so we can talk about this, hear your voice, and present from entire team what it can be. Present products, timelines, and more precise steps forward just to you. So think about it as some kind of earnings call. You know, you invest a lot by paying those $15 right now. You deserve to be on the board with us, right? So it's I see this as like this big board of directors or um, something, more, even more transparent than the entire community, because inevitably this transparency, as I said before, can continue like this. We will have YouTube channel. We will talk about these things. We'll show production of Arc. We'll show the prototyping. We'll show those warehouses, how things are packed. We'll have interviews with users, but that will be more of a TV rather than this work that we're doing right now. So this kind of calls will be only between the super community members. That's how we think about community right now. So it's not going anywhere. Rather, we will probably rebrand it to R&D. We should introduce some kind of Bayesian system so people know that this is not a lot user, but this is someone like a sponsor or also R&D developer. Because last conversation was crazy. Like everyone who participated, they had ideas how to make this better. There were, I feel like there were no just watchers. People, everyone participate with their heart and their mind. So community will be that. Yeah, and everything else, just step by step, we will get there. Um, Spread the word and send us a note about this, and let's prepare for the next call. Yeah, I agree, Marcel. That user meetup was really cool. So that's we also realized that that will be the main value, and we want to have see here. I kind of giving you a glimpse. It's a presentation, um, not just the rent and stuff. Right, it's almost 2 hours. I appreciate you being here. Please spread the word. Think about it. Maybe you can see some challenges here or some problems. If you want to help, you know, I think we finally, and really because of the last Friday conversation, I was like, fuck, I can't answer the simple questions. So spend 1 week just to think about how it should work. And we talked with everyone in the team. And so now we have a very clear point of access. Like, I know that you want to help. I know that you want to participate. So now there's a very clear path where you can start doing this. or plan this for the near future. The moment the money hits the bank, we will start fast. We will be hiring from this community. We'll be hiring from people that we heard before. And I mean hiring because we will have this centralized office and we want this to be our one family. It won't be a big company, but it will be a tight family of people. We call it support team. So there's no one from outside world. It's only us. And the next step, location after location, we will start sending packages. It will take some time. It only depends on the budget. So we have money, we can do it now. And yeah, Arc One is in development. Andre, that's a store, right? Then it's kind of point like we defeat the purpose. So you can buy something. You can buy other rain jacket or something. I think that's a store. To me, lot supposed to be sending you things without you ordering nothing. I really believe in that. I guess I'm basing this whole thing on myself. Um, Even if there is rain, right? If there's something special, I still won't buy nothing. I just don't buy anything. But I want to have lot stuff, and I want to be subscribed to that system. So I think we tried the store in different forms. We tried the store publicly, and we tried the store for users only. None of them worked. You know, only subscription worked. So that is piece of information that we use now. It might seem that people will go and buy stuff, but they won't. So subscription, the OS, uh, is the future. Everything else will go away. I think even during this pandemic, everyone during lockdowns, even if you have money, you like you order stuff and then you're like, okay, fuck it. You're not interested because there's no race anymore. So you need things that sustain your body and spirit. You don't need to buy stuff. Oh, I see, Andre. Yeah. Well, we, many versions, right? You have an app. You receive a text. You send a text. You send a text with ticket number, and we do everything for you. Many options. The app can ask you question like traveling. You say yes. It says where to and when, etc. The system can be very predictive, also. So I'm thinking we can connect it with your uh, bank for this matter. And really not like it's already possible with all apps, but we don't use that stuff to, I don't know, optimize something or anything. We'll be just receive a payment, seeing the copy of payment that you spend it on travel. So we can ask you a question saying something, yo, where are you going? You say where you're going, and then the system does it everything for you. We really want to kill the settings, the login, the it has to be a conversation with a friend, not an assistant, a friend. Right. Yeah, of course it's a long term. But what's the point? What is the point of making everything right now? If you want to make next Apple, you have to make next Apple that will work in 10 years, not tomorrow. If it will be so obvious that for tomorrow, then everyone would make it. We're doing something that will be working in the next decade. So, or scale to the big product next decade. So I think, respectfully, we're in no rush, although we deliver every week something new. Right. This was some kind of presentation for me. There will be more. Um, I wanted to do more Fridays of just presenting stuff in general. The um, community members will organize next call soon. So wait for the invitation. Peace.